Good morning, everyone. It is Thursday, May 18th, 2017, and this is the official meeting that I'd like to call to order for the Post Falls Urban Renewal Commission. Director Fountain, would you please call the roll?
Baltzell.
Here.
Crosby.
Here.
Hauser.
Here.
Coles.
Here.
Davis. Here. And Commissioners Carstensen and Malzahn have excused absences this morning.
Okay, thank you. And we do have a quorum. Commissioner Davis, would you lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
Sure. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much, and welcome, everyone. I don't have any ceremonies, appointments, or announcements this morning to make, so we'll move into conflict disclosure. Do any of the commissioners have any conflicts with anything that's on the agenda this morning that they would like to disclose? Okay, seeing none, let's move on to the consent calendar. Director Fountain.
Good morning, Chairman Baltzell and Commissioners. Item A in the consent calendar is the Commission meeting minutes of April 20th. Item B is the Finance and Policy Committee minutes of May 4th, 2017. Item C is the payables for this month totaling $5,440.43. Item D is the bank activity report, which shows total in all funds of $3,513,237.01. and accrued interest for the month of $2,452.96. Item E is the financial reports as of May 30th and will be posted to our website. Your approval of the consent calendar will authorize a transfer of $2,452.96 accrued interest to the general fund and transfer to the Community First Bank checking account $5,440.43 for general payables. And I would answer any questions.
Any questions from the commissioners? All had a chance to review the documents she sent ahead. Okay, we need a roll call vote or motion to approve.
Mr. Chairman, I move the approval of the consent calendar.
Okay. Second. Any further discussion? Okay, we need a roll call vote on that, don't we?
Voice vote.
Voice vote. Okay, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Thank you. Committee updates. Finance and Policy. Mr. Crosby.
Mr. Chairman, the Finance and Policy Committee had an extensive meeting with Director Fountain. And my thanks to Commissioners Coles and Hauser. We came up with a closure plan for the City Center Urban Renewal District, and we also came up with a recommendation, which we'll discuss at a later point in the agenda, for a new CD. And then finally, we did an analysis of the Commission's ability to maintain and staff the agency when our existing districts mature in the event that there are no additional districts added by that time. So this will be this was sent out to each of you. I'd ask you to review it extensively. A lot of thought went into this, and we will hopefully discuss this at a forthcoming June workshop.
Okay. Any questions from anyone? That was an outstanding report and a lot of good work in several areas, or all the areas really. I just want to make one notation that I think most of you have already heard, and that is the memo indicated that City Center District matures at the end of 2018, and it's actually the end of August 2018, by virtue of the document that was shared with us from Director Fountain. So we're looking at the end of August 2018 instead of the end of December 2018. Okay, yeah, we're going to be looking at that, and I think we'll probably hold a workshop in June, July timeframe. I'll work out a timing of that with our executive committee and our executive director to discuss a couple of these items, because they do deserve to have a lot more attention and bring them to some recommendations. But excellent job on that, in particular the city center, but also in the forecast of the funding for the agency, long-term going out some extra years and so on. So I think it gives us a really good start and a way to better approach any recommendations for future planning and development that the city comes up with when they're finished their process that they're working through. So we'll have an idea of our ability to respond or participate in that as we go down the road long-term. So excellent work. We'll have this information now to go forward with our own discussions and planning over the next couple of months. The first item that Commissioner Crosby discussed about the city center district and potential early closing or whatever, we need to deal with for sure forthright, because the time frame of that is coming up on us quickly. I think we have to make that decision and prepare budgets and so on or before the 1st of September. So we'll be looking at that and early on and coming up with necessary actions that the commission decides would be appropriate. So very good. Thank you so much. No other questions. We'll move on to district review. Commissioner Coles?
I don't have anything at this time.
Okay. Some of that ties in with the work you've already done on finance and policy and what you've done in previous months. So I think we'll put all that together in bits and pieces. And so communications, property, and personnel. Commissioner Carstensen is not here today. Anyone else have anything to add from the committee? Okay. All right, moving right along. Citizen comments. This section of the agenda is reserved for citizens wishing to address the commission regarding an agency-related issue. Comments related to future public hearings should be held for that public hearing. Persons wishing to speak will have 5 minutes. Is anyone in the audience want to speak to an issue? Okay, if not, we'll move on to unfinished business, the MOU with the City Hall campus parking lot. Director Fountain.
Thank you. The MOU, as previously discussed, outlines the city's request for funding not to exceed $100,000 on the parking lot adjacent to the Chamber building. The city has entered into a contract with JUB for the design work, which should be completed by August this year. And the city will pay all invoices, then remit them to the agency for reimbursement. They desire it to have construction completed by the end of 2017, but there might be some remaining residual items that won't be completed until 2018, I'm sorry. And the MOU was signed by the City Council on Tuesday, so.
Okay, thank you. And I think that was also part of the analysis on the City Center District Plan that was done by Finance and Policy Committee, which we've all had a chance to look at, and I think a chance to look at the MOU. And I think it's good to point out that there is the understanding that the dollars aren't available today or the end of the summer to reimburse the city for their expenses. However, it will be available by the end of the year for reimbursement. So the city's plan is to fund it from other resources temporarily to get the project done this year, and then would be reimbursed by Urban Renewal once our current debt is paid and we generate the additional dollars. I think everyone understands that. So,
I had one question, or just a clarification for Peter. My impression is that our contribution to this and our partnership with the city, basically, our $100,000 will be used to pay actual third-party construction cost and third-party design and implementation fees, and not reimburse for city staff time. Is that accurate?
That's the way I understand it.
that's my understanding as well. Yep.
Okay.
This agreement differs from the Spencer Street MOU.
Right.
In that regard, the Spencer Street MOU, if you look at it, it included city staff time specifically, but this agreement does not include that.
Thank you for that clarification.
Pete, do you have anything else to add to that discussion?
Not a lot, just that this was drafted by the city attorney based on the Spencer Street MOU. I added some minor changes. A substantial change I added was in the recitals, where I cited portions of the plan that specifically authorize this type of an urban renewal project. mainly page 23, the plan specifically states that public parking lots are one of the infrastructure improvements authorized by such plan. So that was the main change I made. I wanted to make it clear that this type of project's authorized by the plan, so.
Right, and I think it's important to point out that the city, the parking lot isn't in no man's land someplace. It's right over here, just east of the Chamber of Commerce building, and will greatly enhance the parking capabilities for the city, for the chamber, for other community activities in the area. The two properties that were taken down that were there were blighted, and no question about that. And taking them down and putting in a usable parking area, I think, is a wise move, and certainly something we can support. So we've talked about it actually for some time, of improving parking, and this is one way that we can take action and get it done. And so I appreciate all of that. Any other comments or questions from the commissioners this time? Anything from the city? Okay. I would entertain a motion to approve the MOU for the City Hall campus parking lot.
Mr. Chairman, I would move that I would make a motion that we approve the MOU and participate with the city in this public improvement.
Second.
Okay, moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Okay, roll call vote.
Commissioner Crosby,
Aye.
Hauser,
Aye.
Coles,
Aye.
Davis.
Aye.
Baltzell.
Aye.
Thank you.
Motion carried. Thank you all very much. Okay, new business, certificate deposit for Potlatch Federal Credit Union. I'll turn that over to you, Commissioner Crosby, for further discussion.
We looked at the cash flow analysis for the commission in the next 12 months, and we determined that with the maturity of one CD, we have the capability of placing another CD, as we have in the past with a local financial institution. Director Fountain assessed and reviewed rates received from 6 local financial institutions, which range from a 12-month CD for 0.07% to a rate of 1.5% at Potlatch Federal Credit Union. So it's a recommendation of the committee that we enter into a CD arrangement with Potlatch Federal Credit Union, which is a local financial institution doing business in our community, for a 12-month CD in the amount of $200,000 at an interest rate of 1.50%.
Okay, very good. And it's good to note that the funds matured this past March, and they were put in the state pool to rest until we could do this analysis and determine where's the best place to put the dollar to get the best return on our dollar. So thank you for doing that, and Diane for your work on the data. So DC, I guess we need a motion for that as well.
I'll make a motion that we place $200 into a CD to the Potlatch Federal Credit Union.
Would the commissioner consider amending that to $200,000?
What did I say? 200. Oh, 200,000, sorry, yes.
Is what is the exact amount?
200,000.
And even 200,000?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So are you square on the motion?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, and a second. Any further discussion? Do we need a voice vote?
Voice vote's fine, yes.
Okay, all in favor say aye.
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 Opposed, same sign. Hearing none, motion carried. Thank you. Done. I just wanted to do that.
There you go.
We all have hammer in.
Funnest part of my job right here. Okay, staff report and updates.
Thank you. I received notification of a contribution rate increase for Percy beginning July 1st. The employee portion will increase from 11.32% to 11.94%, which is 0.62%. And the employee portion will increase from 6.79 to 7.16%, which is 0.37. Annie Van Valen from Anderson Brothers had mentioned that during the audit process, so I did receive notification that that'll take effect July 1st. And yesterday, I received a phone call from Chris Logston, And he informed me that Point Partners LLC entered into a construction improvement agreement with the city, which was approved on Tuesday, May 16th. The agreement outlines the Cisco lift station upgrades for the sewer force main and lift station. The estimated construction costs are $466,673. And then Point Partners LLC, or Whitewater Creek, they are purchasing the parcel east of the apartments that are already on Expo Parkway West. And Point Partners has agreed to let the increment from that parcel go towards reimbursement of Expo Parkway West. So I will work with legal counsel to draft an addendum to the agreement regarding reimbursement for public improvements that was dated on June 8th, 2016 between Point Partners and Point Apartments to include the increment from parcel 2. And then after they close on that property, then we'll need to execute an addendum to the Point Apartments OPA to include parcel 2 as the site. So those are upcoming things that will be brought before the commission.
Okay, good. None of that's unexpected, I don't believe.
No.
Just one question, and as initially proposed, the extension of Expo, the western portion of Expo, will be completed by Point Partners, or by Point Apartments?
They've completed Expo Parkway West.
The entire amount? Okay,
Uh-huh.
so this is basically just expanding the area that would be used to reimburse them?
Correct.
Understood. Thank you.
Okay.
And then John Malloy met with Mayor Jacobson regarding the mill site, and they discussed what different uses could be on that property. Shelley stated that there will be a meeting in the future to discuss forming an urban renewal district possibly at that site. So I sent her 3 resolutions that were passed by the agency and the city in 2010 when we were going through the process of forming an Idaho veneer urban renewal district. That's all I have.
Okay, very good. Any questions on any of her comments? Okay, commissioner comments? Anything further to talk about, discuss?
I'd simply give credit to Director Fountain for not only looking ahead and anticipating some of our questions, but also preparing information that is relevant to making decisions. So I really appreciate the work you do and the fact that you're usually either equal to us or ahead of us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And my only comment I was going to add to that is certainly the level of detail that you prepare, even oftentimes going beyond what we were looking for because you saw something that maybe we weren't aware of or didn't see, and the way and manner in which you very professionally prepare and deliver to us the information and something that we can read and understand, very much appreciated. You're doing a great job.
Thank you.
And anything else from anybody? If not, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
Mr. Chairman, I move we adjourn.
I'll second that.
Okay, moving second. We're not going to have any more discussion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. We are adjourned.